good morning, and welcome to the early hours called I'm a Mom, and this is sometimes the only time I get to paint. Despite having an amazing partner that does absolutely split the duties with me, but there's still only so much time in a day. Also, by the way, that's the only way that these things are going to happen, is if I just do them. And guess what? I got a puppers too. Meet Missy. Yeah. She's a corgi toy poodle mix, and she's adorable and the sweetest little happy girl that honestly just mostly wants cuddles. So we're going to let her sleep underneath the easel, and I'm going to talk to you guys real quick about Black 3.0 and Black 2.0. And if you don't know what that is, it's supposed to be the blackest, mattest acrylic paint from Culture Hustle. And so far it's awesome. I actually have some on this painting here, if you can see, and that's where it's truly filled in right there. I'm going to explain the difference between the two of you here real quick right after I put Missy down. Okay, come on. You go under the easel, because that's where she likes to sleep. Okay. The bottles. This is Black 2.0, and this is the Black 3.0. Oh, I got the large bottles of both of them because I'm ridiculous. I don't know, because I don't always make, or I do make the best decisions with my money. That's the question. I'm going to show you how liquid they are. So this is the, So you're supposed to shake them, and I put mine literally just in these plastic, I think I got them from my mom. They're a dairy-free like ice cream thing, but they come in these little plastic containers. And so if you're a crafty person, this is a great reuse for them. It's for paint because you can actually seal them. I mean, I'm assuming almost as good as that bottle. The lid's not as good, but it's sealed pretty good. So this is the 3.0. I'm going to show you in a minute what that means. You can see how liquidy this is. I'm thinking at the end of the day, the 3.0 is probably your best for spraying. It does look just a little bit darker than the 2.0, but it's very liquidy, and I'm going to explain kind of the problem with that in a second. This is the 2.0. As you can see, it's not as crazy. I'm not going to shake it in here because it's kind of thick. I might stir it. It does recommend that, and that's just, I'm assuming, to get all the paint particles evenly distributed in their medium. This is the 2.0, and this is the one that I really needed to find the other day before I spent many hours, not many hours, okay fine, a couple of sessions messing around with the 3.0, thinking in the back of my mind, this is really liquidy. This is really, I feel like I got something else for a different reason, and that is because even on the website, they do tell you the 3.0 is the newest one, but if you like 2.0 over 3.0, you can still get it. They said they're going to keep it, because some people do, and it is thicker, and it's still the best for a one-coat application, and that is the key word, why there's a difference in the thickness. So I'm going to swivel you guys over here to look at this and show you exactly how that looks when you paint it. All right, this is what I have been working on. Don't mind the imperfections because they are all going to be fixed in the end, especially where the neon is. Yes, this is neon and glow in the dark. Actually, the blue is too. But I think it's kind of hard to see blue neon as like neon. I'll show you maybe a black light on that later. That'd be fun. Anyway, we're talking about the Black 2.0 also. If you are curious right now whether or not you're going to see this painting done in this video, the answer is no. So I don't want you to be mad at me at the end. I'm just going to upfront tell you that. We're not finishing this in this video because I'm going to show you the Black 2.0 and 3.0. And then also, in another video, I'm putting Mirror here, which is also a paint from Culture Hustle. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. No, I am not sponsored, by the way, by anybody. So don't think, and she's pushing. No, this is just the most honest review I can give because I'm not sponsored by anybody. I got nothing to lose. I'm just going to show you. Also, that's a good point. I'm a self-taught artist. So if you're looking at something, you're like, I don't think that's how you do that. You're welcome to politely say so. But please don't hold my feet to the fire because I'm just out here being an artist, which means just trying and experimenting. So, problematic things between the 3.0 and the 2.0, as you can hopefully see in the picture. So you can see where I started painting over here. This was actually going to be another layer of the 3.0. So the 3.0, because it's very liquidy, if you were doing a brush application, again, I think it looks like it might be more designed for a spray application, which would probably work lovely, especially if you're doing objects instead of paintings. But if you're just if you're painting like me and use brushes, then this is what I experienced so far. This is on a non-absorbent surface. Because I watched a video on how to do the mirror paint first, and it talked about sealing it. Then I was moving around on the website and it said on like plastic surfaces and stuff. So I actually gave this a coat of a gloss medium, Liquitex gloss medium, something, I think. Either way, they recommend even just like, school glue, watered down school glue. You just need a coat of something to make it non-porous. For the mirror specifically, you don't really have to do that for the black, but I feel like it did help the black. And so for adhesion wise, no, I actually touched paint. This is not from this, and you don't have to believe me, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. So you can see in the middle here, this is actually the 3.0, and it took several coats to get this solid. It's a lot like, because you kind of almost, you need it thicker on here, so it's kind of just like moving around a liquid. Isn't all paint liquid? Well, kind of, but honey versus syrup, man. So this is the 2.0 right here. This went on in one coat, and it looks gorgeous. I will say it does not, probably not picking up on the video, but I would tell you in person, this is definitely a more intense black. So you can really see that. This is very flat and very matte. And almost next to this black, like, how one black you get next to another better black, and you're like, is it gray? No, it's still black. It just wasn't as good. It's like, this is the pants after, being washed once and then dried out in the sunshine or something. Getting opacity was hard with that. This goes on really nice, like regular paint. So I'm going to show you that one first, actually. Because that's where, no, because I'm going to, okay. I am, because I'm going to show you, again, I don't know if you can see on the thing, though, between the two. Because what I would recommend, just so upfront recommendation, if I like both of them, I would recommend, if you're painting, to get the black 2.0 and paint a coat over it with the 3.0, which will just deepen the intensity. But I would definitely start with this, because building up the layers, normally I love building layers, but like I mentioned, I'm a mom, and so sometimes time is of the essence, and I get real irritated when I feel like my time is being wasted, because I've only got so much of it. So as you can see, we're just filling this right in, and you're gonna see some of my head, because I gotta get up in here. You're like, how do people do geometric arts? I don't know. Some people paint a little further back. I gotta get it right up on it. And of course, with geometric pieces like this, the trick is, which is again why 1,000 coats, not great, because that means I gotta be careful about that edge 1,000 times, and that's annoying. If you're wondering, what do you do when you screw up an edge? Well, I try to see if I can make it not terrible. Stay with me, we're turning. If I can make it not terrible, I go back and forth with the neon, fixing that anywhere I need to fix it. I mix, especially if it's a bright paint, I'll always mix bright paints with a titanium white and go back over the edge just to, titanium white's one of your most opaque paints, so it's really great for covering up. You don't always want to cover up just with white, because it can look weird later, especially in contrast to the surrounding color. So the best fix I've found is to usually use a titanium white mixed with that color, and then to paint the purity of that color over top of it. I don't know if that works with every paint. That's usually my go-to if I've got to fix an edge. This is actually one of my cheaper brushes, by the way, if you're wondering. Expensive brushes, cheap brushes. This is a Master's Touch, Fine Touch brush or something. It's a size 10. It's one of the few, it has like an extra little tip on it, which is what I like. And I do actually have some fancy brushes, but for some reason their tips are a little fatter. I'm still searching for my favorite brush. It also goes to show, don't have to pay a lot, always. Some things you do. Some things, not so much, some things you look out. And the cheaper is better. Okay. As you can see, that's all filled in. That's going to be drying. That was the 2.0. Just to remind you, I'm going to rinse off my brush. And we're going to go, let's see, a good contrast. How about we go next to it? I'm just going to paint right there. With 3.0. And show you the difference. You saw how that went on just beautifully, super opaque and lovely. This other one, again, the black is more intense. You're going to see here in a minute. It's just, it's more like an ink, I guess I will say. And you can see, like, I think I have a little too much water in my brush for it right now. And that's why it makes me a little mad. It's so finicky. I feel like you can feel, if this makes sense at all, you can feel the suspension of the particles in the paint more so with this one. And again, that's just because it's thinner, it's more liquid, it has great applications, I'm sure, reasons for it to be thinner in other applications. For me, for painting, I'm actually not even, I guess I will go up to this edge. Kind of don't want to. I'm like, I just got to paint over it anyway. But my brush is already loaded up with the paint, so I might as well finish. I'm not going to load any more paint in my brush. We'll make that. How about we'll make that a little agreement. We move forward with this. Okay, here we go. Sinead, did you just push that edge again? Yeah, I think I probably did. And we're back to why I hate redoing edges. So I don't want to be so careful. Yes, so I wasn't as careful because I knew it wasn't going to be as opaque. So I don't have to get up all up in its business. But that's the difference between the two. As you can see, these places where I have filled it in with the 2.0 already just like beautifully opaque and solid and perfect. And that one you can even still, the camera's still picking up where I don't have full coverage still. So that's annoying. Overall, I like them. They're definitely the mattest black that I've seen. I almost sound like the mattest. I should over one of these places that are dry. Real quick. Stay with me. We're going to put this over and you're going to tell me. It'd be better if I kept it next to each other, right? So I'm just going to put it here. I'm going to line the edge. Okay, I should have kept talking, but I had to concentrate. All right, now let's look at let's hold this up. Let's see if you can see that or not. Well, you can do it if I get light on it, but the whole point is that it really does push away the light. And let me tell you right now, even the fact that this is going matte on this screen is ridiculous because wet paint doesn't do that, especially black wet paint. If you've ever tried to photograph black, that is a whole issue to get the black correct and all your other colors correct. I think most of that has to be done in like post picture editing something. I don't know. After you take the picture, you gotta fix it on the program. Try to use Word. Don't know if it really worked. Don't think it did. Yeah. that's everything. Okay, if you enjoyed this, I hope to see you next time. We're going to put mirror in these and show you what that's supposed to be like. That is actually, I'll give you a sneak preview. Here's the bottle. It's supposed to actually be like an actual mirror on a surface. So I'm incredibly excited to pop that on there and see how crazy awesome it makes this look. Either way, you guys have a fantastic day. I'm gonna see how much of this I can whip out before my daughter wakes up and I have to go have breakfast. All right, bye.